Hello, it's Sonia here, The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to be doing a cute, quick crochet project. So to do this, I am using my G hook or 4.25 millimeter hook, and I am going to be using scrap yarn, and there's 3 different versions of this project. So one of them I am going to be using this yarn, which is just some worsted weight leftover. I don't know where it came from, but I'm not sure if it kind of feels like Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, but it might not be. And then for another version, we're going to be using this yarn here, and this is worsted weight number 4. You can also use decate weight. So this one is definitely more like a decate weight yarn, this purple in my stash. And then for the third version, we're going to use this yarn here. So you're probably wondering, what are we making? So we are making these. So as you can see, it's a cute little basket, and you're probably like, what is this for? So I'm going to show you. It's to hold your hand sanitizer. Now this hand sanitizer is like the standard size for Bath and Body Works, but you could actually customize this to fit other hand sanitizers. So you can see, just pop it in there, and then you have a cute little handle to hook onto your purse or bag. And this is the one version. So here is the other version here. So it's a little bit of a different weave. So this one is like a basket weave, and this one is also a basket weave. Now this project here, I used worsted weight yarn or number 4 yarn. This one is decate weight yarn, so that's why I said you can use decate weight. But because it does stretch, it does fit very nicely. And there you go, that one. And I'll show you how to make the flower too. And of course you can embellish yours any way that you want. I just wanted to add cute flowers, but you could add beads, buttons, you could have it plain if you wanted to. And then the third version is more of a very beginner project. So here is the third version, again with the little flower. It's just basic crochet stitches, and this is also made with worsted weight. I have a bin with scrap yarn in it, like just small balls of yarn like this. And so projects like this are great for that, for using that up. But again, these would make really great gifts. So let's get started. So the first version we are going to make is this guy here. Now the bottom part is going to be the same for all 3 to get started. So I'm going to use this yarn here. This yarn feels like a Caron Simply Soft. It just has that like typical sheen and just feel of it. So it's made bottom up, so we're going to start on the bottom of the basket and then work our way up. So to start with, we're going to chain 5. So I have my 5 chains here. And this is going to be worked in the round. So in our second chain from our hook, you can work in your chain however you like. You're going to work single crochet. And you're going to single crochet all the way across your chain. We are going to have 4 stitches. So this is my last chain. And I said we're going to make this into a round, so we're going to add 2 more chains in that last chain for a total of 3. And now we're going to work on the other side. So you could just see I swung around, and the next chain I'm going to single crochet. So we're single crocheting across our chain. I think I mentioned that. If not, I am so sorry. This is all single crochet, and then in that last chain we're going to work 2 single crochet, and I am going to place a stitch marker in that very last stitch. So I'm just using a scrap piece of yarn right here, You can use actual stitch markers. I always lose them, so I just use scraps of yarn. It's cheaper and just easy. I always have scraps of yarn. Okay, so that is round 1. So for round 1, you will have 10 single crochet for round 1. Now we're not joining, we're going to jump right into the next round. So our first stitch, our first single crochet, we're going to work 2 single crochet in that one. And now we're going to work single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So there is 1 and there is 2. So we've made 4 so far. And now we're going to work 2 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So in that next stitch, we're popping in 2 single crochet. And we're going to do it again. Oops, this yarn is splitting on me. Happens with Caron Simply Soft sometimes. And 2 more in here. All right, so now we're going to keep going, and we are going to continue to work 2 single crochet in our last 4 stitches. And we're going to have a total of 18 single crochet for round 2 here. I'm going to pop out my stitch marker. So round 3, we're going to join in that first stitch with a slip stitch. And now that is the bottom of our basket, and it's going to be, this will be the inside of it here. All right, so let's begin round 3. We're going to chain 1. And we're going to half double crochet in that same stitch. And we're going to continue to half double crochet all the way around. So we're going to have 18 stitches. So the first 3 rounds for all 3 of the versions that I showed you are the same. So this is version 1. This is the larger basket weave version. So if you want to make this one, you will do the same bottom. On version 2, we're going to do the tighter basket weave, and then version 3 is just a simple, very beginner. As long as you can make half double crochet stitches, single crochet stitches, and you're a little familiar with working in the round, and you can slip stitch, you know, by joining, you're good to go on that one. So I don't want to say this is complete beginner project because you do need to know basic fundamentals of crochet. All right, so we have completed round 3. So I'm going to join in with a slip stitch in that first half double crochet. And as you can see, it's already starting to curve a little bit. All right, so let's begin round 4. We're going to chain 1, and around the first half double crochet, we're working front post half double crochet. So we're working around that stitch, and we're going to work 2 more for a total of 3. So it's giving a raised effect here. So now we're going to work 3 back post half double crochet. So back post half double crochet are not as fun, and I think I have a tutorial that goes in more in depth with post stitches, so I can place that link. So we're going to work behind. So I've got my yarn over. So I kind of like to put my hook down to go behind and work that post stitch. So you can see the raised effect is on the wrong side. and we're going to work 2 more, so for a total of 3. And we're going to keep going. So now we work 3 front post half double crochet, and 3 back posts half double crochet, and you're going to do that all the way around. You're still going to have 18 stitches. So I'm going to keep going here, working my front and back post stitches for round 4 here, and I will meet you back. Alright, so I finished up round 4. So we are going to join with a slip stitch in that first half double crochet to complete the round, and now we're going to work round 5. We're going to chain 1. So now we're going to work 3 back post half double crochet. We started with front post, but this round we're going to do back post. So we've got my yarn over, and we're going to go, so we're going from behind to the front and just sort of wrapping it around. It's a little awkward, but once you kind of get the feel of it, it's not too bad. And you can even kind of spread the stitches apart to see where you need to put your hook. It's not going to hurt a thing. And work 1 more. And now we're going to work 3 front posts. So stitches, you can see, are kind of a little crunched. So they're there. Just kind of push it down. Like I said, I'm spreading it apart to find that next one and work front post half double crochet. So we're just alternating from what we did for round 4. We started with front post, but for round 5 we start with back post. And then it helps create that basket weave look that we're going for. So now I work 3 back posts. So it's 3 back posts, half double crochet, 3 front posts, half double crochet, all the way around for round 5. So what you're going to do is you're going to be repeating rounds 4 and 5. For 12 rounds. So you're going to end on a round 4, and then we're going to work 1 more round, and then we will work our handle and make flowers. And you don't have to make flowers if you don't want to. So I'm going to keep going here. So working again, we're going to repeat rounds 4 and 5 for 12 rounds. So your last round will be a round 4. And then we'll get ready to finish this up. So I am going to do that, and I will meet you back. Alright, so I finished up round 12 here. So now we're going to work round 13. We are almost done. So we're going to chain 1, and we're just going to single crochet all the way around. So we still have 18 stitches. Okay, so I've worked my 18 single crochet. I'm going to join with a slip stitch in that first stitch, and we're almost done here. So now we're going to work our handle. So to work the handle, you're just going to chain 15. Okay, so I have my 15 chains. So you want to make sure you just kind of flatten out your basket, and we're going to attach it on the other side. So you're just going to eyeball the single crochet in the crease where we folded. So looks like that guy right there. And you're just going to slip stitch it so to anchor it. And now we are going to slip stitch across our chain, and I think I twisted it, so tip, don't twist your chain. So when you're slip stitching, just run your thumb and index finger across it so it's not twisted, and then find your single crochet. Alright, so we're good. Now we're going to just slip stitch across the chain that we made just to make it look a little bit nicer. I chained a little tight, but so one slip stitch. Yeah, I'm making this harder than it has to be in each chain across. So I'm going to go do that and I will meet you back. Alright, so I finished slip stitching across my chain. So now we need to cut our yarn. And then to finish it, you want to feed your tail through your loop. It just anchors it a little bit better, like that. And then to fix that, so you're going to see how it's kind of a little bit loosey-goosey there. So you'll take a yarn needle, and then I just like to poke it through this single crochet right in the middle of that. I'm just going to poke it through. Take that tail, thread it, and you see that instantly fixes it, and then I'll just continue to weave in that end. And I like to do it back and forth just so that it's really anchored on there, especially because you'll probably have this hanging off of a bag or something, so you really want to make sure it's nice and strong so it doesn't, you know, come apart or anything like that. So just going back and forth. And I'll probably even just go down. So it's just kind of weaving it in all different directions just to add extra stability for the handle here. And also this yarn, because it is Caron Simply Soft, it's a little bit slick. So you really want to make sure it's nice and anchored. Where if you were using wool, wool tends to stick a little bit, like the fibers kind of stick together a little bit, so it's a little harder to unravel. So I think we're pretty secure there. So there we go. There is our adorable basket for our hand sanitizer. So here it is, just to test it out. Pop it in there and you can see, super cute. Now we are going to make a flower. You don't have to, you could just have it plain, or like I said, you could add a different kind of embellishment to it, but I'm going to make a flower and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so I have this pink here that we're going to use, and this is also Caron Simply Soft, so we're just going to stay with the Caron Simply Soft theme here for this. So to do this, we are going to do a magic circle or magic ring, which is not always my favorite, but for this particular project it works really well. So if you've never done magic circle or magic ring, it's basically a slip knot. Think about how you make a slip knot to get started. So slip knot, boom, there's a slip knot. It's the same deal, but you want it a little bit larger, so I'm just going to wrap it around 2 fingers, bring this through. So I'm going to put my hook in here, but what you want to do is, so here's the working yarn, you want to put it up like that. So you can see how I just kind of, it was hanging down the working yarn, I just lifted it up. So now it's up like that because we're going to stitch around these 2 pieces of yarn. So you want your working yarn up so that you can do that. So what we're going to do So we're going to chain 3. For our flower, and now we're going to work 2 double crochet, and again you want to stitch around these 2. You don't want to stitch around this, it's not going to work. So 1 double crochet, we're working our first petal, our second double crochet, and now we're going to chain 3. And we're going to slip stitch around those 2 strands. And we're just going to repeat. We're going to work 5 petals, so I'm going to chain 3, work 2 double crochet, and chain 3, and slip stitch around that strand, those 2 strands, and we just repeat. So you can see I've got 2 petals going on and we need to work 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, so we need to work 1 more. Let's get more yarn here. Still working around those 2 strands right there. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch around. I've got my 5 petals, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now what you're going to do, you're going to take the shorter tail and you're just going to pull it so everything is cinched up. So I'm just going to pull out my working yarn a little bit and I'm just going, oops, pulling the wrong thing. Don't do what I did. You want to pull the shorter tail. This is my working yarn. Okay, so sorry about that, my battery died. So here is my flower, and as I said before, you want to take the shorter tail and you're just going to pull it to cinch it closed. So there we go, and now we need to cut our yarn. And what I like to do when doing this project is cutting the yarn. So we cut it, and I'm going to take this tail and I like to feed it through the loop. That just gives it a little bit of more security. And there we go. So now we are ready to sew it. And as you can see, the tails are about a couple inches long for sewing. This one's a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew it on the front. And you can make a bunch of flowers, or I sewed 2 on this guy here. But I'm just going to put the one on here, and I think this is super, super cute. All right, so now we are going to make this style here. So here it is. So it's a little bit of a tighter basket weave. So to get started with that one, so here I've already started. You're going to be repeating rounds 1 through 3. So what we did for this guy here, you're going to do the same for the tighter basket weave. All right, so after you have rounds 1 through 3 done, we are going to get started on round 5, or 4, I'm sorry. 4 comes after 3. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to half double crochet again, but we're going to work front post half double crochet around that first stitch. And now our second stitch, we're going to work back post half double crochet. So we have a front post and a back post. So now we're just going to repeat what we just did. We're going to work front post half double crochet, and back post half double crochet, and you're going to repeat that all the way around, still having 18 stitches when you're done round 4. So I'm going to keep going, working front post and back post half double crochet around, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I finished round 4, and so we're going to join with a slip stitch in our first stitch. And now we're going to work on round 5. We're going to chain 1. So our first stitch, instead of front post half double crochet, we're going to work back post. And now we are going to work front post half double crochet. And we're going to repeat that around. So it's going to be back post and front post. So what you're going to do is you're going to be repeating rounds 4 and 5 up to round 12. So round 12 will be a round 4, and then we'll have one more round, and then our little basket will be done. So I'm going to keep going here. All right, so here is my little hand sanitizer holder. I worked 12 rounds. We have one more round to go, so I still need to join, and again you end on a round 4. So now we're going to do the same thing as we did for this guy. We are just going to single crochet all the way around. So I chain 1, work a single crochet in that first stitch, and then we just continue to single crochet around, and then we are going to work our handle the same way we did this guy. So you're going to chain 15, attach on the other side with a slip stitch, and then go back over and slip stitch across, and then you can cut your yarn. And I'm going to show you the other one we worked on, so I will finish this one off camera. Alright, so this is the third version of our little hand sanitizer holder, and like the other two, you're going to work rounds 1 through 3 the same. Now this is for more very beginner crocheters, so for people that have learned the half double crochet stitch, the single crochet, and are familiar with working in the round, this project is for you. And you don't want to fiddle with post stitches, this project is for you. And this one you can play around with colors. I'm just going to use this color here. For this one, as you can see, I have not joined with a slip stitch like we did for the others. We're going to work in continuous rounds. Now if you want to change colors, then you might want to join with a slip stitch to help with the staggering, but I'm going to work this all in one color, and I'm going to use a stitch marker to mark my last stitch. So now we're going to jump in. We're just going to work half double crochet in that next stitch, and we're just going to continue to half double crochet around. So when I get to the end of this round, I'm going to take out my stitch marker, work this stitch, pop my stitch marker back in, and keep going. So we are going to work 7 rounds total of just half double crochet. So this is just half double crochet, like I said, very beginner friendly. So if you don't want a textured look, or you just don't want to be bothered with post stitches, or you don't know how to do them, you can do this version, and you will still have a cute hand sanitizer holder. So I'm going to keep going, working my 7 rounds, then we'll have one more round to go, and we'll work our handle, and it will be all done. So here's the third version, and so we worked 7 rounds because we're just doing half double crochet all the way around. So you can see that I changed colors here because I was running out of this light purple, so I added the dark purple just for a cute stripe. So this is the other side. So now I'm going to finish up, so I have one more round to go. This is round 8, and it's going to be the same thing as the others. We're just going to single crochet around. So I chained 1, I worked my stitch in that first stitch, and I'm just going to continue to single crochet around. And we are going to work the handle the same way, but we're going to have to start off just a little bit differently. because when we finish, it's not going to line up, so we want it to be folded like this. So as you can see, the join is back here. We don't want to have the handle starting here and here. We're just going to have to do it a little bit differently, but still pretty much the same. Okay, so I'm getting to the end here, so I'm going to work my last single crochet, and then I'm going to slip stitch in that first stitch to join it. And I'm actually going to cut my yarn. I'm going to cut both of these because I hardly have any of the light purple left. So finishing it off. So now we're going to work the handle. So you just want to have it flat like that. So this is our seam. It's not too bad in the back, but this is definitely the nicer side here. Here's the color that I'm going to be using for my handle. So we just have to attach it on the side here. So I'm just going to, so you just kind of eyeball like where that crease is and to attach the yarn. So here's my yarn. I just like to lay it on my hook. I don't like to use knots or anything like that. And then I'm just going to start chaining my 15. Alright, there's 15 chains. So you can see this is just a tiny little scrap of yarn. So these are great for scrap projects. You know, I didn't have enough to make one all of this color, just like I didn't have enough to make one all of this color, but combining it looks super cute. So if you have little bits of yarn, you can definitely get creative with these cute little projects and have nice little gifts. You can buy a little hand sanitizer, especially when they have their sales, and stock up, and then you know you'll have a quick gift for somebody. Alright, so now we're just going to attach on the other side with a slip stitch at the crease, and then we just continue, and again make sure your handle is not twisted, and then you just work your slip stitch. And for this one, oops, my yarn's splitting. I think I am going to make a flower for the front. Again, you don't have to. You can keep it plain, or you can add buttons or any other type of embellishment, tassels, beads. You can get really creative with these and really, you know, personalize it however you like. Alright, so these are the hand sanitizer holders that are finished now. So this one is the very basic one, and I just made a flower and put it on the front there. So here is the one basket weave one that we did. And I added the cute little cherry applique on here, and I do have a tutorial for this on another video, so I can place that link if you want to learn how to make these. And then here is the other version of the holder with the different basket weave there, and then I put a flower on there. So I think these are super cute, and as I said before, would make a really nice gift. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.